Hello, and welcome to Faraway Radio, the social impact podcast that spotlights the voices of grassroots humanitarians and environmentalists, focusing on stories of changemakers. Join us every week as we connect with these leaders from around the world and hear about their journeys of creating community resilience. This season, we're going to be focusing on the changemakers of the ocean, inspiring activists, athletes, explorers, and even an astronaut who are using art, tech, and science to better our oceans. My name is Desiree Tavera, Executive Director of Faraway Projects and your host. This season is in collaboration with Ultramarine Ocean Action Summit and recorded at their various events throughout the year. All of our guests have such unique origin stories, and it's so motivating to hear how they're leading ocean regeneration through their work. Today, we are talking to Joshua Sam Miller, a man of many talents. If you haven't figured out already, he is a huge ocean advocate, and this stems from his intimate connection with the ocean. Joshua is a multidisciplinary artist, environmentalist, and social impact entrepreneur whose mission is to connect people to the natural world through immersive art. He is the creator of Sounds of the Ocean, which beautifully blends together art, science, and audiovisual into an immersive marine life experience. He is the founder of Embodied Sounds, a mindful content creation studio and music label bringing wellness experiences around the world. I also don't know of a single instrument Joshua doesn't play. There are so many cool things that Joshua's up to. Let's take a listen and find out more. Thank you for joining us today, Joshua Sam Miller from the Sounds of the Ocean, and for being here at the Flamingo NYC Ultramarine Ocean Action Summit. You had a beautiful performance earlier, and I would love for you to tell us a little bit about what Sounds of the Ocean is, what inspires you. Let's go through all of it.
Thank you so much for having me on the show and at Faraway and at Flamingo and Ultramarine. These are some tough times we're living in these days. I think a lot of people would agree about that. And this project is really intended to help us feel more at peace with ourselves and our own experience every day, because for a lot of people, life is stressful, and also understand what's going on in the ocean. We kind of started out in the yoga meditation community, really like pulling from deep lineages around the world that really inspired me to just be more healthy, in my life, and realize like how much suffering is going on in the world and was going on for me personally that was something I could change, was something I could take action on. And when I really found music, I was really inspired, and that I think is what led to the development of this show that has happened very organically over the last couple of years. And I was teaching a yoga workshop one day in California where I was helping kind of my audience, I guess, connect with sound in a different way. I think we're all used to going out and partying and having a blast, which is great and something I love to do. And when you start to understand sound kind of like beyond only that, a whole world is available.
For sure.
And I remember at the end of the session, he came to me and said, wow, I really appreciated that. Thank you so much. And if you ever like to work with recordings from the ocean, come to my office.
Wow.
And it turns out that he worked at the Monterey Bay Aquatic Research Institute in California. And he introduced me to the sounds of humpback whales, of dolphins, of blue whales. And I was just so blown away,
Wow.
And it was just this kind of aha moment of, that's what it sounds like down there? Are you serious? Like, that's incredible. And as such a audiophile, someone who appreciates a lot of different types of music, I just found this whole ocean genre, to be kind of cool. And it was never something like, there's no degree in this.
Yeah, I think it's called organic content nowadays.
Organic content, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that's where this project started, and to have been able to really grow it up and meet amazing activists and conservationists has just been a dream come true.
Yeah, definitely. And so where's it going?
It's going a lot of places. We kind of just completed a world tour at the moment and are celebrating the launch of our new album, which came out yesterday.
Yay!
Live in concert. And From here, we have some big goals. We want to take this really to spaces in cities that can make it more accessible for people who don't live by the ocean and connect on this level. We're working with some amazing visual artists and curating like an immersive experience, as well as feature film formats and audio experiences that will be hopefully at aquariums in the near future.
Yeah.
And we're really looking to just spread the love and spread the magic of what life is like in the ocean.
Wow, that's epic. And so tell us a little bit about like the show flow and like what people can expect.
So at our live concerts, they last about an hour, sometimes a little bit longer. And we usually have an intro with an NGO working locally in conservation to help people understand what they can do in their own community. And then from there, we really guide you on a full journey within yourself and within the sea. And it's kind of like been composed to be a bit of a scuba dive.
Wow.
So you kind of start at the surface and then go down to the bottom and come back up. And most people choose to lie down on their backs if the space is available, close their eyes, really like go within. But we are starting to also do experiences with seats and visuals and everything. And it's really a chance for you to just slow down, connect with yourself, really connect with the ocean, and reflect on everything that's going on in life. And then we bring you back safely and have a, chat afterwards perhaps and call it a night.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's such inspiring work that you're doing. And like, my first thought is like, what inspires you? Like, you're inspiring so many people. Like, what inspires you?
I mean, you inspired me doing this show.
Get out of
far
town.
away. Like, seriously. I mean, it's really people coming together.
Yeah.
It's people really like making things happen that inspires me and believing that anything's possible, creating things that don't exist yet. That's inspiring.
For sure.
And of course, the ocean, the planet. I grew up a New Yorker and was kind of like disconnected from nature for a while. And it wasn't until about 10 years ago I left this beautiful city and went off on like a global journey and just fell in love with nature, and the simplicity, the beauty and the kind of perfection of it. So I do pull a lot of inspiration from that. And, growing up a scuba diver, I felt like an ocean lover from age 7. And that's definitely stuck with me.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, like, just being in a city so often, you feel so disconnected. And like so many people like in major cities, like don't even realize that like there's natural beauty around them, like super close. Like I grew up in Miami and like people are so disconnected from their environment that like they just tried to ban mangroves.
Wow.
Like in Miami.
Wow.
I'm like, don't you remember the Everglades? All this used to be mangroves. Anyway, long story short, would love to have you guys perform in Art Basel, Miami, Ultramarine, Faraway Projects. We're all doing a big activation in Miami.
Yes.
So if you can make it in December, we would love to have you.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And so parting thoughts, how can we support? Where do we connect? How do we make things happen?
Well, thank you for that beautiful invitation. I would love to collaborate.
Absolutely.
And our project is best connected with on the website, which is soundsoftheocean.com.
Awesome.
And same on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And me personally on Spotify as Joshua Sam Miller.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. We will put all that in the show notes for ease of like super hyperlinked quickness. And yeah, just so grateful and like astounded by the work and like the beauty that you're bringing into the world that is so needed. And really grateful.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Joshua is truly an artist. Be sure to check out his live performances as well as other multidisciplinary projects, which you can follow on Instagram at joshua.sam.miller or his website, soundsoftheocean.com. On our next podcast, I will be sitting down with Galen Rosenwax, who is a marine scientist, explorer, and filmmaker, and led the first expedition to the bottom of the Belize Blue Hole. As always, I'm your host, Desiree Tavera, and this is Faraway Radio.